Space. An unfathomably vast, mysterious, and beautiful expanse ripe for exploration. What if you could travel to a newly discovered, uncharted planet found within the cosmos, let's say 23 light years away with your very own spacecraft? Would you do it? Better yet, what if this trip was offered at a very affordable price? Well, that's exactly what U-Explore offers, and get this, there have been 0 recorded accidents since 1995. Video games are weird. Sometimes you go into them expecting one thing only to be pleasantly surprised when you get something totally unique. This exact thing happened to me with Affordable Space Adventures. I expected a standard side-scrolling exploration game much like Metroid, but what I got was not even close to that. Affordable Space Adventures has you starting out on the planet Spectaculon after what can only be described as some sort of serious mishap. And the world of Spectaculon? It doesn't look so spectacular at the moment. In fact, it seems pretty foreboding. But right now, the only thing you can worry about is trying to find help by piloting around your very unstable, broken down ship. What became apparent to me soon after gaining control of said ship was that this was not going to be that exploration-based journey I was looking forward to. Instead, Affordable Space Adventures turned out to be something I didn't know I wanted. A completely linear puzzle title. The game is divided into multiple levels that take place on various parts of the planet, and the puzzles revolve around getting safely through each of these areas. As you make your way through the adventure, your vehicle's multiple capabilities begin functioning again. There are a ton of different things you can do, but the way these things are doled out is fantastic. Each new mechanic is slowly eased into the player. You get a short description of what the function does with regards to your ship, but you don't know how that effect will translate into the environment. Instead of telling you exactly what it does, you're given areas to experiment with right after unlocking each ability. For example, early on, the mass generator is unlocked. Obviously, you'll be able to change how much mass your ship has, but right in front of you is something you haven't come across before: water. Being the curious person I am, I wanted to know what would happen if I flew into the water. With the default mass setting, you notice that your vessel floats. But hey, what if we increase that mass just a hair? Suddenly it sinks. And wouldn't you know it, the very next area has you utilizing this mechanic. I love it when games teach the player through experimentation, and Affordable Space Adventures does this extremely well. You'll be using these abilities to make your way through all the puzzles this world holds. These puzzles start off simple, but soon get much more complicated as new ideas are introduced. You see, Spectaculon holds another secret. There are seemingly sentient alien artifacts found within the planet that sense heat, electricity, and sound. Weirdly enough, all things your spacecraft emits. What this allows for, though, is some really cool puzzle-solving mechanics. Because your ship isn't equipped to take down these artifacts that can kill you, you have to stealthily make your way around them. Scanning the artifacts show exactly how much they sense heat, electricity, and sound, as well as their sensing range. By adjusting the various abilities at your disposal, you can account for this so that the artifacts won't know you're there. Sometimes you may have to cut off the engine altogether, or maybe turn down the deceleration so that you can float by after an initial thrust of speed. A fair bit of multitasking is definitely required. Affordable Space Adventures provides so many variations to the gameplay with the way puzzles are handled, and it always keeps the player thinking. With all the different functions your ship has, how do you go about controlling them? Well, that's where the gamepad comes into play. The Wii U gamepad was a controller that seemed to have so much potential for innovation. Games like Nintendo Land and Zombie U showed off some of the cool things developers could do with it, but we haven't really seen too many games take advantage of the gamepad in unique ways since then. Affordable Space Adventures, though, feels like it was built from the ground up specifically for the Wii U. The gamepad was integrated directly into the gameplay experience, playing a vital role in pretty much every aspect of your Odyssey. Not only does it house all the control options for the ship, but it's actually designed as a virtual control pad, adding to the immersion. During the start of the game, you watch the gamepad as the system OS boots up. And if your systems are shut down by lightning or something else within the world, you'll see the screen flicker off for a bit before you can turn everything back on. Not to mention, the speakers on the gamepad are also put to good use, with message transmissions being relayed through them. I love small touches like these, and Affordable Space Adventures is one of those titles that I really don't think would work on any other system. If all those controls seem a bit overwhelming, you can even play cooperatively with up to 2 other friends. One person's tasked with piloting, one controls the scanner, light and flares, and the other is in control of all the other various functions of the ship. I didn't think co-op would be enjoyable at first, but I was gladly mistaken. The brilliance of Affordable Space Adventure's co-op mode stems from how much interaction you need between each player. When I was playing, my friends and I would constantly be yelling and cursing at each other while barking out orders. You actually have to work as a team since each person's task is essential, and it's a blast. Going by Napnok's previous releases, they sure seem to know what they're doing when it comes to fun local multiplayer experiences. Now, I've made it no secret how much I love atmosphere in video games, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the wonderfully moody atmosphere of Affordable Space Adventures. Spectaculon is pitched as a lush, beautiful new world filled with life, but that's not the world you crash land into. Spectaculon is beautiful, but in very different ways. There are secluded areas of lush plant life, but for the most part, the outdoors are gloomy and grim, constantly raining or cloudy. As you make your way into the depths of this planet, things become dark and dank. You'll find areas that are molten hot and other areas that are frozen and cold. You'll come across all sorts of different environments, and everything is accentuated with terrific lighting and an ambient soundtrack. I may not ever want to go to Spectaculon, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't pretty. Even with its linearity, Affordable Space Adventure still makes you feel like you're exploring this crazy new place. You never know what you'll see, and uncovering the mystery of that super safe company you explore is intriguing to say the least. To top it off, it easily has one of the best uses of Miiverse to date. With its fantastic use of the gamepad, great puzzles, and an exceptional atmosphere, Affordable Space Adventures is a game that I think every Wii U owner should at least try.